Regular troops are bad enough, but shambling corpses, they unsettle even the most seasoned Khajiiti warrior. We need to warn Gareshri. Almost. I wish we had another day and another pride of warriors, but our claws are sharp. Finish your business, then tell me when you are ready. We will enter the town, clear the streets, and set the final defenses before we report to Gareshri. Speaker, we have news!
Report, Kamira.
The Euraxians have necromancers in their ranks.
The usurper queen dares send undead against us? Five Claw, find Captain Naledo and warn her!
Strike hard! Drive back the Euraxians! Five Claw, did the speaker send orders?
Riverhold belongs to Queen Euraxia, cats!
Grave-robbing cur!
Every death is just a new recruit for Euraxia's army!
This one hates killing the same fools again and again! This one must warn the others.
Spell will animate every corpse in town, but this one has an idea. Meet Zamarak at the temple, and maybe we can disrupt the spell. Riverhold's blessed moon pillars. They can cleanse the necromant. This one must be at peace to memorize the inscription. They spilled blood in this sacred place. Zamorak and the prayer are one. Come, let us find the blessed pillar of the spring moon. As long as the necromantic spell remains in place, the dead will keep rising. Deal with the undead while Zamorak recites the prayer. Vakri Dashin. Sanctified the ground. Let us proceed to the summer moon. Deal with the undead while this one activates the pillar of the summer moon. Vakri Dashin. Pillar of the Winter Moon, near Kahajab Hall. Vaba Kri Frisin. The moon pillars are activated. Riverhold is sanctified.
It's working. The dead are dead again.
Wait. Something is coming.
Dark moons! Dragons! We can't fight dragons! This one will order a retreat.
Such pathetic creatures. Flee before Kalgranted, you insignificant morsels!
No. Riverhold belongs to the Khajiit.
Chimera, consider your next words very carefully.
Now I'll speak the words my people need to hear. We are Khajiit. We are the children of Alkosh, the daughters and sons of Joan and Jode. We do not run, even from dragons.
Bologdan! Prove your worth! Destroy these paltry insects!
Stand with me, people of Anequina, for I am Chimera, daughter of King Hemakar. I am your queen. Now, Five Claw! Use the ballista and drive the dragon to the ground! Now finish this!
Bologdan will crush you!
will not run, not even from a dragon!
All hail Kamira, daughter of King Hemakar and Queen Numara!
Soon, Rimmon and all of Anequina will once again belong to us. The reign of the usurper queen nears its end. On this, I give you my word as the heir of Anequina, the daughter of King Hemakar, and the true queen of Rimmon.
We have plans to make. War Council, with me.
The speaker is correct. There's still work to do. Let's convene in Kahajab Hall.
Can you believe it, Five Claw? Our queen still lives. Now more than ever, we truly have something to fight for. Our people have someone to fight for, and that makes Nalado purr with contentment. But there is still much to do before Anequina is free.
Thank you for helping defend Riverhold from the Usurper Queen's forces. And killing a dragon! That was amazing! I just wish Kamira had not revealed herself in quite so open a fashion. Kamira is indeed the daughter of King Hemakar and Queen Numara. She alone survived the murder of the royal family and has served as my aide ever since. The men and I hoped to reveal her identity after we had the Euraxia situation more well in hand. A mistake? No. I trust her instincts. She will make a good queen for our people. But Kamira lets her emotions get the better of her, and she can be reckless. I worry that those tendencies could end her rule before it truly begins. Euraxia killed most of the palace staff and quickly spread word that the royal family was dead. Kamira hid in plain sight, often working far from Rimmon, and her pendant protects her from magical detection. Now, talk to Tharn. Plans must be made.
You helped give my people hope, Five Claw. That is a debt I will be hard-pressed to repay. Let us consult with Lord Gareshri and Abner Tarn. We have the rest of this war to plan out. Not to mention Cal Grontid and the dragons to deal with. I am the heir to the throne of Rimmon. All of Anequina, to be exact. But I will not officially become the queen until the Main recognizes my lineage and heritage. Before that can happen, we need to remove Euraxia and her ilk from my palace. I have not forgotten. Both the dragons and the necromancers can be defeated, though. You have shown that. We will find a way to prevail. We have to. Mulamnir and his superior Calgrontid, however. I expect they will not go down so easily. I want to take the fight directly to the Usurper Queen, roust her from the palace and take back what is ours. The War Council must decide, however. Lord Garishri still commands the militia, and Abner Tarn formulates our strategies.
You killed a dragon. Impressive, but don't let it go to your head. It was just one, and not even that large of a specimen. Plus, of course, no one will remember your feat. They're all going to be talking about the return of their queen. I had every faith in your ability to handle the situation. There was no need to intervene and tarnish your moment of glory. Besides, my considerable strategic skills serve the Khajiiti cause better than my battle magic. I leave the mayhem to you. Honestly, I had no idea. Chimera's rousing words were all well and good, but it will take more than inspiring speeches and old siege weapons to take down my half-sister. Based on recent events, only one course of action makes sense. We must strike at Rimmon and remove my half-sister from the throne before she rallies her forces. First, however, take this. Compensation for stopping the undead and killing a dragon. My half-sister continues to be an embarrassment to our family name. The time has come to deal with Euraxia. Permanently. Half-sister. And yes, if it comes to that. Euraxia conquered Rimmon without authorization. She oppressed the Khajiit, unleashed hordes of undead, and made a deal with the dragons. If we don't depose her, I hate to imagine what she'll do next. Who said anything about a direct assault? Subterfuge is called for. I suggest a small group slip into the palace, locate Euraxia, and remove her from the throne by any means necessary. Talk to Garishri. He knows someone who can get us inside.
Now that I have revealed my true heritage, we need to act quickly, Lord Speaker.
I agree with the princess. The time has come to remove my half-sister from the throne.
Queen Tarn. I have not been a princess in a very long time.
I stand corrected. Queen Chimera. You said you had a way to get us into the palace, Lord Speaker?
I do. 5 Claw, let us speak. Like most of Abnurtharn's plans, it is both brilliant and daring. If it has any chance to succeed, however, we need a way to get a small force into the palace without being seen. Luckily, I may have an answer. The former custodian of the palace, he knew the place like the back of his paw. Remarkably, he survived Euraxia's conquest and the purge of the royal family. Find him, and he should be able to provide us with an unseen path into the palace. Aneshi. He served as castellan for Rimen Palace under King Hamekar. You can find Aneshi southeast of here, where he now cares for a shrine to the ancient hero Kunzari. Learn what he knows. Then meet the rest of the strike force in Rimen.
Nalado never served at the palace, so this one wouldn't know Aneshi from Maik the Liar, or Queen Carmira, for that matter, Nalado is sad to say. When Euraxia attacked, this one was a new recruit assigned to a tower along the Cyrodiil border.
I remember Aneshi. He and his wife served my parents well. Tell him that I am alive and I plan to take back our kingdom. He will provide the information we need. Of that, I am certain.
Nalado suggested we refer to you as Dragon Slayer from now on, but I put a stop to that. Grandiose titles will just distract you from the task at hand. Speaking of which, don't you have an old castellan to interrogate?
So...
On top of it all, here you are.
defeat his vile foe. Its confluences fringes to fall. Sits close now. The warrior makes one last stand against the dreaded demon. Ice and blood staining peaceful sands. Night fills the sky. Chains and spells bind the demon tight, locking it away in darkness. Soldiers celebrate a new dawn's light, and peace reigns once more. Peace reigns once more.
I'm in the middle of something.
Did you hear that someone... The Rimmen... You can be assured that all of...
What are you ready for? What are you ready for? Okay.
concerned about...
Well, aren't you off in a hurry? Heading to Surindar's cradle? I hope you brought your own water skin. Or you could buy one off me. My rates are reasonable, given the drought. Water, or rather the lack of it. Something stopped the flow from the aqueduct to Surindar's cradle. I've been hauling water for them in the meantime, but they can't keep this up forever. Don't know. Old stones, old gates and levers, who can say for sure? I overheard the adepts discussing the trouble. A young one, Vosby, seems keen to solve the issue. If you want to know more, she's the person to ask.
We must do something about the water, Silujo. If you would just...
No adept can face the wastes alone, child. This one insists you stay.
Vosby cannot understand. Only puddles remain in the Adeptorium cisterns, but still Silujo forbids this one to act. Our Adeptorium, Srendar's cradle, is parched by a drought. We rely on the Anequina aqueduct to supply our water, but something halted the flow. Now adepts and pilgrims go thirsty. We tend to the sick here. Without water, many of them may die. No, and we never will if Silujo gets his way. He yowls about the risks, but Vosby is not the saucer-eyed kitten she was when Silujo found her. This one must fix this. You're a warrior, yes? would you escort Vasby to investigate the aqueduct? Thank you for helping, Rook. We should investigate the nearest gate of the aqueduct, just south of here. Srendar willing, we will find whatever blocks the water there. Vasby will meet you soon. This one must speak to Silojo before she leaves. No. My teachers examined the Order's histories and found no evidence of droughts in the past. But we live in curious times, yes? Dragons fly, dead walk. A broken aqueduct would not seem out of place. Vasby does not think so. Before the water reaches Srendar's cradle, it passes Rimen. And for all the city's problems, a drought is not one of them. That means the flow is blocked somewhere between the city and the Adeptorium. The Adeptorium itself? I know only that our ancestors built it in the days of 16 kingdoms. Vasby has no ears for ancient history. This one does know that the Adeptorium has always been a place of healing, of refuge for all, no matter how ill. We do what we can, but Vasby fears it is not enough. Many come with seared flesh and blackened lungs, from the flames and smoke, you see. Others come with broken limbs. Most of our palliatives and salves require water, so you see the urgency, yes? About Vasby? Oh, this one's life is not so exciting, but if you insist. Vasby is an initiate and servant of Srendar. A healer in training also. Silojo and the other monks raised this one here in the cradle. Most learn the craft, but not all have the passion for it that this one does. Silojo says it is Vasby's calling. This one thinks he is right. Yes, Vasby's parents had... This was in the time of the flu, you see. Many orphans came to Srendar's cradle in those days. Most of them were not as lucky as Vasby. Silojo cared for this one like a daughter. He still does, as you can see. No, this was not so long ago, Walker. You remember the groans and hacking coughs, yes? The blood? Srendar's cradle's adepts healed as many as they could, but even the strongest tinctures and cleanest bandages fell short in the face of the flu.
Silojo has misgivings. Many misgivings about letting young Vasby investigate the aqueduct. The spirits sing of your strength. This one finds some peace in that, at least. Please, just keep a close eye on her. Vasby is precious to Silojo. Srendar's cradle is aptly named, Walker. The sick find peace, comfort, and security here. The world outside our walls offers little more than temptation and death. Silojo does not want Vasby or any adept to face those dangers needlessly. Caravans from Hakushe and Rimen bring water for our cisterns now and then. It will sustain us for a time. Should the problem not resolve itself before our water runs out completely, then we will have to see what Srendar intends for us. Srendar's cradle? It is a home for healers and a safe harbor for the sick, the infirm, and the dying. With the light of the moons and Srendar to guide us, we tend to those who have no one else to turn to. In moments where leadership is needed, the adepts turn to Silojo, yes, but Srendar works through all of us equally to heal and bring comfort to those who need it.
We should examine the gate at the top of the ramp. Open and dry, as expected. Hopefully we'll find the blockage at the second gate. Busby hopes we can find the problem soon. Otherwise we may have to investigate the Bandar span. A portion of the aqueduct that runs through Bandar's litter. A canyon to the east of the Adeptorium. Silujo forbids us to go there. Ever since this one... Busby does not know. She has, at times, heard whispers from the older adepts. Something about the Nahatan flu. This one asked Silujo outright about the place years ago. He only shook his head and said it was far, far from Srendar's light. Old moon tales. Clan mothers say the stone pillars of the canyon were Bandar's children. Elkosh turned them to stone as a reprisal for one of the bandit god's pranks. The trickster hid the pillars in this canyon where they would be warm and safe. Busby will be right behind you, but be careful, Walker. Silujo can be overprotective, but he would not resort to lies to hold us back. The dangers of the wastes are real, as you know. Truly, I hate to worry him, but Busby must do this. Follow the line of the aqueduct east. It should lead you straight to the next gate. Busby will meet you there. Ha! You protect me by clearing the way, Walker. This one wants to take a moment to study this gate, in case we must fix one later. Busby will be safe. You will stop worrying, yes? Caught you! Busby is a quick study, yes? Let's examine this new gate. Drive! Zisful! Wait, what is this? Curious. This scrap of cloth, Busby knows it well. It is part of a Srendar adept's habit, one of the old ones we don't wear anymore. Could an adept have been out here? Busby does not think anyone wore it. The way it is torn, it looks like someone used it to dress a wound. Do you see the stains? This one smells blood, too. A warning, perhaps. Or a clue. Maybe. Busby is no investigator, but finding something like this near the gate feels like a sign. We should find the person, if only to make sure they are not badly hurt, yes? We could start by searching around the columns that hold the aqueduct up. Someone gravely injured may have rested in the structure's shadow. No time to waste, Walker. Let's go. Certain. After the worst of the Nahatan flu had passed, Silujo and the others burned every scrap of cloth touched by the illness. Quilts, linens, and yes, even their habits. Nothing remained of them, aside from paintings in the cloisters. It appears that way, yes. Come, whoever this belonged to may need our help. Another shred of a habit? The blood seems more spotty. From a sore, maybe. Let's keep looking. The blood trail goes cold, yes? But what is that? A cameo? The face looks... This was not dropped by accident, Walker. There must be more to find. This is a nursery rhyme, isn't it? Like the one Vasby read every night as a kitten. Srendar's mercy. Please hurry, Walker! Swaddlecloth? Vasby recognizes that pattern. Come, let's keep looking, come! And we find a death coin lost, of course. Something that gleams to take to the sands behind the stars. We should talk. The bloody bandages, the cameo, and swaddlecloth. All these trinkets and mementos lead to a forbidden place. Bandar's litter. Busby has not been totally honest with you, Walker. This one has a very personal stake in this business. The drought. It's because of me. That is why Vasby insisted on being the one to investigate. Every year, on this one's birthday, someone leaves a gift outside the cloisters. Gifts like the nursery rhyme, coin, and cameo we found, you see? Days after the aqueduct ran dry, the gift giver left a jug of cold, fresh water outside this one's door. It was a message, you see, for Vasby. Now we find these dressings and keepsakes, all leading to Bandar's litter. Our answers are there. Old ghosts haunt this place. Angry spirits that moan and howl curses in the night. Silujo always insisted we stay away. I hate to disobey him, but we have no choice. The last sluice gate and the person we pursue are both inside. Are you prepared? Busby saw someone. Why do they run? We do not mean them any harm. There they go. Is that the same one as before?
Who are you? Where is... Busby, beloved child. Finally you have come home at last.
Beloved, what? I don't... We only want to restore the water.
Water? No. You come for answers, child. Answers from ashes. Take her to our camp at the Bandar Gate. Kill the other and cleanse him in flame. The scouring fire will claim Sarindar's cradle soon enough.
Quickly! Over here! Silujo saw everything. We must save Vasby quickly, please! I may not be Vasby's father, but I feel a father's love for her. What parent would let their child wander the Kaj with a stranger? Silujo followed at a distance, but could not stop Vasby in time. The stricken cats took her deeper into the canyon. The flu. Time heals some wounds and causes others to fester. Sometimes even the greatest healer cannot see all ends. Forgive me. Silujo is an old cat. He rambles. We must go to the Bandar Gate to halt the flames and save my Vasby. There is a cavern deep within the litter. If memory serves, it ascends to the Bandar Gate. We will find the aqueduct blockage and Vasby there. Come, we must hurry. Silujo will try to make these sick, scarred cats see reason. To cure a sickness, a healer must know the ailment's cause. Old hatreds are not so different. We lose time discussing this. Have faith that all will proceed as Srendar wishes. These sick, scarred, you see, we call them the stricken. After the Nahatan flu ravaged their bodies, the people of elsewhere cast them out. They came to Srendar's cradle once for healing, but the king's vizier would have put our adeptorium to the torch if he knew we harbored the sick. You should know the reason they hate us. It is my fault. They wish to burn our home because I cast them into Bandar's litter to die. The stricken are the ghosts of my past, of the cradle's past. Silujo hoped that time and seclusion might let them heal on their own, but that was always a fool's hope. The sickness made its way to their souls and festered there. In the days of the flu, chaos reigned. Many came to Srendar's cradle seeking healing. But fear followed the flu. With so many of the ill huddled in our adeptorium, the people saw it as a breeding ground for more sickness. Sutabi, the king's vizier, marched on the adeptorium and threatened us with torch and sword. If the sick remained in the cradle, he vowed to burn it to ash. So I ushered the sick and dying here to Bandar's litter and left them to die. They had no choice. We had no choice. When you tend to the sick for as long as Silujo has, you cannot help but grow detached, callous even. If I kept the sick with us, many healthy Khajiit would die. Khajiit, like Vasbi. Vasbi's parents came to us, carrying her in swaddling clothes. They were both near death, or so I thought. But Vasbi, their child, was healthy as the spring. What could this one do? Her parents had no chance, but she did. I took her in, raised her. Wait, Silujo must speak to you. Before we go further, we must speak. The Bandar gate lies beyond that door. The Stricken's leader as well, Vasbi's true father. His love and sorrow has turned to hatred for me. Silujo has no illusions. Death waits for this one through this passage, for the actions of his past. Silujo does not fear this death if it will save Vasbi. Before it happens, though, this one must ask. You now know the story of Srendar's cradle, of the sick left to die. When this one is gone, Vasbi will have questions. What will you tell her? Silujo thanks you, Walker. Choosing who lives and who dies weighs on the soul, but as a healer and a leader, I must make hard decisions. If Silujo had to do it all over again, he would make the same choice. Now come, Vasbi waits.
No. My daughter is no longer yours to corrupt and ditch.
Silujo, no! This is my fault. Srendar, forgive me! He breathes but faintly. Vasby will take him back to the cradle. My hands won't stop shaking. The Striken's leader, Hulzar, wields horrible magic. He told me that the adepts took me from him, that they stole everything from him. He said Yes, he said he left me gifts so that I would not forget him. But seeing me grow closer to Silujo, closer to the Order, twisted his tail to the breaking point. He lured Vasby here to Banda's litter. Now he plans to burn the Adeptorium. Please, Walker, if there is any way to spare Hulzar, have mercy. Vasby knows he is mad, but to lose two fathers at once. Threndar, help me. This one is so lost. Moons, why did Silujo come here? He must have known the Stricken would kill him. This one only needed saving because she disobeyed Silujo. He came here because of Vasby. He dies because of Vasby. This one knows. Hulza told me about how he and his wife, my mother, came to the cradle with a tiny Vasby in their arms. He described the long march to Bandar's litter and the cold, moonless nights that followed. More suffering on my account. How could it not be Vasby's fault? Had Hulza's wife not carried Vasby in her womb, they never would have come to Srenda's cradle. Had Vasby not sought to restore the water, Silujo would live. Please, just find Hulzar. Vasby must work.
Think you can keep me from my vengeance? Come deep.
You return. Good. Vasby already loses too much today. Silujo did not... Vasby could not... He is gone. His soul wanders the sands behind the stars now. The other adepts mourn for him as Vasby does, but they do not know the truth of his death or the cost of the water you restored. But you know. Vasby knows. And it may be too much for her to bear. Vasby loved this place. She idolized Silujo and the other healers. She prayed to Srendar for the strength and wisdom to serve as well as those who came before. But Srendar's cradle is a lie. My dream is a lie. What is Vasby to do now? The people of elsewhere think that the adepts of the cradle worked miracles to stave off the flu. Now I see that they only hid the sick in the wilderness to let them die. How can this one just ignore that? How can I dedicate my life to such a place? Yes, this one will stay. But I will not lie about what happened here. Silujo made an impossible choice, but the people deserve to hear the truth. Thank you, Walker. We only just met, but you are the closest thing to family that Vasby has left. Brothers, sisters, Vasby must speak about Silujo's passing. Before he passed, this one learned the truth of the stricken, of the role we healers played in their suffering. No longer. In Shrendar's name, we must go to Bandar's litter. We must help the stricken, and we must try to heal this age-old wound, for their sake and for ours.
Yeah.